Hey guys, Willie Adolph here with Walk with Will, and today I have Candace and Nick here at PRMG, correct?
Yes, sir.
Hey, because sometimes, because I said it so fast, sometimes I get tongue twisted on all these acronyms. Everything is LOL, JK, JJ, whatever K, and it just, I don't know. Everybody got acronyms, and sometimes, I'm a man. I never learned how to keep hair, so I lost that trade. But it's a great having you guys here. Thank you for joining me today. And can you guys tell me a little something about yourselves and then about your company?
Sure. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate you having us here. We started this journey a couple years ago trying to get started in this business, and actually me and my wife decided to start in this journey together and being loan officers and working together.
Oh, working together.
Yeah, working together.
Candace, how is that?
Yes, it's fantastic. Is that the right answer? No. We actually started working together about a year ago. And, pretty much like any job, it's taken a minute to find our rhythm and our balance, but we got there. And so honestly, it really is nice being able to work together.
Yeah, awesome.
Wasn't necessarily the whiteboard with the line down it, like, this is my job,
Right.
This is your job, right? I mean, we really had to try to evolve, and it still evolves every day on the different aspects of the business that we may be better suited for, and like, she's
Right.
better on the phone with the customers, I'm better at doing this, or whatever it may be. And so really learning that, I mean, it's a day-to-day, and I mean, it can change. Like next month, it could change. We could flip, say, hey, we realize that I'm not so good at doing this. Maybe you need to do it, or something like that. But
You never know.
all in all, it's been an amazing journey so
Yeah.
far. It's been great working with her, and the relationships that we built in this business and the customers that we've been able to help and show up for, and to really, because you create long-lasting relationships with these families. And it's not just me that's showing up. I got my family here with me.
Exactly.
And so to be able to dig deeper, go deeper into that and say, this is who we are, this is what we do, and it's a team effort. I think it says a lot.
It does. And a lot of people, when they look at couples that are united and work together, behind the scenes, she's good at your weakness and you're good at her weakness, so that makes you
Yes.
one whole strong.
Yes.
So we're definitely, because my wife are the same way. So a lot of people ask me, about contracts. You talk to my wife.
Yeah.
Now, anything else, I got you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a balance, and you definitely have to have a balance.
Appreciate
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I appreciate it.
So PRMG.
Yeah.
What is PRMG? Who is PRMG?
Look, I hear you. So let's go ahead and drill it down, right?
Right.
So Paramount Residential Mortgage Group. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but hey, it's okay, right? We do loans, right? So you want to buy a house, we got you. We have branches all over the United States. We can do loans in every single state but New York at this time. So it really allows us to be very versatile, right? So if you know anybody, or if y'all have somebody that's moving out of state, we can still help these families move to that state, right? So that's the good thing about our company, is how many states that we can service. The other thing is our wide array of products that we have, right? And we can service pretty much almost any situation, which really helps us out. What is really important to my branch is VA loans. We really like serving the veteran and active military community.
Okay.
We have a very, very deep knowledge of all the parameters and systems that have to go into place when we're going through a VA loan. I think the VA loans kind of scare a lot of people. They really don't want to get too much involved in it, but for us, we hit it head on, and we really, really enjoy serving the active and retired military community.
So what are some of the myths? Because, I know of VA, but I don't know about VA. So basically, especially on the loan side, and, I've talked to a few, and they'll say, well, I've already used my VA loan.
Yep. So that is one of probably the biggest misconceptions, that if you're a veteran, is that you can only use it once. It's like a one and done. In which that's not true at all, right? So your eligibility requirements can continuously go from house to house.
Really?
Right? So it only gets a little bit different when we're talking about second home purchases and stuff, right?
Okay.
So if you want to sell your home and move to a different house, I mean, you can absolutely still use your VA loan.
So what if I want a second house, say for instance, second house, vacation house, could I use my VA loan for that house?
That would depend on the certain situation. So, I
Okay.
mean, that would be questions that we would ask the individual, see how much of their eligibility that they actually used on their first home, and
Okay.
see what we can get, right? So,
Okay.
a lot of it depends, right? And the disability factors go into that as well. So, we don't have to get too much into that, but like every situation is different. And the big thing to know is that there is pages amongst pages of requirements and benefits that go with the veterans. And I think really the biggest thing is if you're an active duty or retired duty, like you have a benefit, right? And that's the biggest thing that we want to get on top of a building and shout to everybody, that you have benefits that nobody else does. I mean, 100% financing, right? You can come to the table with 0% down, a 0% down payment. I mean, that's crazy.
Like nothing.
Like nothing.
Only earnest money.
And closing costs, right? I mean, you have some other things that may go into it, but yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Right? So,
Okay.
but when we're talking about, hey, so I need you to have 5% down and title, insurance, earnest, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people go, man, I don't have all that, because a lot of the times people are only thinking about a down payment.
Right.
Right? I mean, and that's where we try to do better at educating our customers and our clients and just the generalized public by doing stuff like this.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because there's a lot of, I guess, confusion when we're talking about down payment and closing costs.
Yes.
And you had mentioned it, it's like, oh, you said 100%, so I don't have to come to the table with nothing. But then, why do I have to still bring maybe some money to the table, maybe $100? Why?
Yeah. Well, so we have servicing fees, right? So there are fees that go into doing your loan. You know, it's just like when you buy a car, right? You're not gonna walk out, when your sticker price says $30,000, you're not gonna walk out of the car dealership only paying $30,000. And I know that can be frustrating. It's like, hold up, man.
I only brought 30.
Yeah.
You said it was 30. What's all this other stuff? It's very similar. The difference is before you close on your house, you're actually gonna know all those costs up front.
Perfect.
Right? So that's the difference, is that after our initial conversation, and we create this scenario for you on what your home product will be, we have clear communication where you know what your clear next steps are, and so that you have absolutely 100% the idea of what you're going to be bringing to the table, right? So there are still other fees that are included into buying a home, but as far as like a down payment goes, yeah, it's 0%.
So it's no down payment, but there are closing costs,
Yes,
which
sir.
it makes sense. So let me ask this, so working with a great real estate agent, what if they need some negotiations as far as helping with closing costs? Can that be negotiated into where maybe the seller can contribute to help pay some of those closing costs?
Absolutely. I'm actually glad you said that, because that takes a very great realtor to be on your side to be able to negotiate some of these things down for you on the seller side. So I guess the scenario would be a VA loan. You'd have 0% down, and you would have so many thousands of dollars that you would have to pay in fees to closing costs. Well, if your realtor goes up to the house that you're wanting to purchase and say, hey, I want this amount of money towards what we call closing costs, absolutely it could cover it, right? So yeah, it could cover some or all of it.
So, like I said, a lot of people don't understand the VA, and, you know, I dibble and dabble, but I'd rather hear it from you guys. What about the taxes?
Yeah, so taxes work a little bit different for VA loans. You know, and like I said, it would depend on your individual situation as far as employment, what you're getting for, you know, disability and stuff. But you do get a different tax break when it comes to a VA loan, which really, really works in your benefit.
So what I'm hearing, let's say, you know, you're 100% disabled vet. You got this 100% loan. Would that help with my payment if I'm 100% disabled with the taxes? Since the taxes won't be as high, won't that help with my monthly payment?
That would, and that'll also help with your income. Yeah, so that's the big thing, is that disability checks definitely help with our vets for the income.
Right.
It allows us to gross it up a little bit. So it works very well. You know, vets are in a very unique situation where when, we want them to be able to purchase a home and have the correct benefits to purchase a home. And we want them going into it knowing 100% what they need to do and every benefit that is available to them to get to the house that they want.
So Candace, how do you feel when Nick get these late calls and weekend calls and stuff like that to help them with their scenario?
We love it. He's always available, and it's fantastic that we are in the position for him to be able to take the calls on a weekend. We kind of rally around him and completely support it.
So I can see Nick now has his computer on his back, he's walking around. Oh, God, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, nice tackle.
Yep.
So I do get it. We've been like that as well, but it's great to see couples that can work together, support one another, and I think that's the key thing, is knowing what's going on, especially in the business when those phone calls, because it is hard to try to balance work and life in certain situations. Because sometimes without work, it's hard to have a good life. A lot of people don't understand. They be like, well, I want to live my best life, but at the same time, you still got to do a little work.
Yeah.
So no, that's great. And what else? Anything else about VAs that we might need to know that's maybe a myth or something that people that's on the fence are unsure about?
I think a lot of people, there's a misconception on all the fees that go into it. So if you have any questions about that or anything else in regards to a VA loan, please reach out to me, reach out to Willie. He'll be able to get you in contact with me, and that's something that we can talk about. At any time that you would want to look something up on yourself, you could go to benefits.va.gov. It'll really be able to give you a lot of information, kind of like a crash course on what may your benefits be available to you. And like I said, if there's something that's in question, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to create a situation for you or a scenario and show you what we can do for you. Because I think that is another big misconception with everybody, is that it costs money to even figure out what I need to do to buy a home, and that's completely false. So it's a free consultation, if you want to say. You call me, we talk about your situation. My company's doing great things when it comes to credit, right? So like when we talk about like pulling credit, really we're checking your credit, and it doesn't hit like you would think that it would hit. And so we're doing some really good things in our space that people really don't have to worry about how it's going to affect their credit like most may think. And then at that point, we can start verifying some stuff and get you a very, very accurate scenario versus going on like a Zillow.com or mortgagecalculator.com. And if you get a call from us, you may be getting a call from me, or you may be getting a call from Candace. And if you get a call from Candace, you're in luck, right? So you want it. You may want to go get a lottery ticket that day, because I'd probably much rather talk to her too. So yeah. But look, don't hesitate. Reach out. We want to provide all the information that we can to you guys. We want to make sure that you have all the tools in your belt, so you know exactly what you can do, and so you can get to the house that you want, versus trying to figure out this information on Google or from what a friend of a friend said.
Because every scenario is different.
Absolutely.
And as I said, time and time again, mortgages is like you have a puzzle, and you got all these pieces on here. Now you got to put the pieces together to make a beautiful picture.
Absolutely.
So guys, definitely reach out with any concerns, any questions. And we kept saying reach out to you. How do we get in contact with you?
Glad you said that. One way you can reach out to me is just call Willie. Okay? You call this guy right here, because he's the expert in the field of finding you a house. He'll be able to hook you up with me. The other way is you can just give me a call directly. My phone number is 281-577-7709. Other ways, you can email me directly. My email is nhebert. Looks like Hebert, but you actually say Hebert at prmg.net. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah,
hey, well, I really appreciate it. Thank you for you guys' time today. Thank you for the knowledge. And guys, if you have any questions about VA, about any type of mortgage loans, give Nick and Candace a call. And remember, when you have will, you have a way. My name is Will.